bunch of different views.
Your boys keep it real, man. I really like listening to them, man. They funny. Yeah.
Son.
You know what I'm saying? They really speak their truth. What the hell was that?
You're.
What it do? What the business is? What's good? It's your boy Mel, and this is TruVue Podcast. We back in the building again, bringing the barbershop to the box office, baby. Let's go. Jay, you on mute. They cannot hear you. We see your mouth moving.
I'm still on mute. Yeah, okay.
There it is.
All right, God damn it. This is gonna be I feel like this is about to be a damn clip. I already see it. I could see the imaging, I could see the cut and zoom in on me talking with no noise. All right, I hear you. I'm here, man. Let's get it popping. Thanks for coming back and checking us out.
What up, people? This is Zoe. We back in the building, doing what we do best. We're about to review another one for you. I think it's gonna be a good one.
What's happening, world? This is Grown Man MJ, and I love everybody. Welcome back to the TruVue Podcast. We always thank you for tuning in, following, subscribing, sharing. You know, tell a friend to tell a friend.
To hit the like, subscribe, and share button. You goddamn right.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Thanks for coming through. Let's get it, fellas. Let's get it.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So this week on the TruVue Podcast, we will be reviewing Worth. This is a
not
movie
just any Worth, not just you and I's Worth.
Jay, take
it's
your
literally
time, brother.
You.
Jay, take your time, brother.
I will say that
It is literally
the original title
was
"What Is a Life Worth?" So they cut it.
I like how they shorten it.
Mm-hmm.
I like how they shorten it too. It's definitely the word how you and I's Worth. So this is Worth, which is available on Netflix. The movie is about a DC lawyer named Kenneth Feinberg. My God. Who battles criticism, bureaucracy, and politics to help the politics. What did I say? Politics?
Bureaucracy.
How do you say that word? It's bureaucracy.
Bureaucracy.
Yeah.
Bureaucracy.
Right.
I said it.
Slow down, bro. Slow down.
I said it. Bureaucracy.
Power through it.
Okay. Bureaucracy.
Any word you got a rock in your chair for, just skip that one.
He's like,
let Google read it.
I said it right. It's bureaucracy.
Nah.
It's bureaucracy. It's bureaucracy. Bureaucracy.
You're saying boo. You're the
Oh
yeah, that's a good clip.
Y'all know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Just use Obama. Just use Obama. Yeah.
All right, yeah. Politics, all that shit. He's trying to help the victims. It's about 9/11, so this is uncomfortable. The ironic thing is this movie Worth came out in January 2020, right? And I find it ironic, and maybe it's a reach that a movie about one of the greatest tragedies to affect civilians, because Pearl Harbor really only focused on military officials. I don't like how y'all ears perking up, but it's like the movie about one of the greatest civilian tragedies in American history came out in a time where America was facing yet another civilian tragedy called
the world.
The world was about to face this.
It was trumped Yeah,
The timing of it
the
is
towers were trumped.
the
is what
towers,
happened.
Trump Towers. Like the timing of it. That's my rename. Um, and this is not in jest.
Better
It's
say it
just
first.
it's like better say
Don't be a race.
it. You gotta laugh through the pain, to the tears, I guess. But
You
like,
do, man. This was a very
so
uncomfortable time.
if you're uncomfortable with the laughter, don't take it personal. It's just you can't hide or you can't shy away from how things played out. Like with this movie, you know what I'm saying? So let's just get right into it and let's discuss it.
Well, I guess we're fair. With the movie, what do we see fall short?
Shout but shout it, shout but shout it, shout, 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 shout but shout it, shout but shout it, shout but shout it, shout, 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 shout but shout it.
For me personally, I saw no shortcomings in this movie. I thought everything was done. Like that shit brought me back to the day. And for what I loved about it was like the introduction to what 9/11 was in DC. And as a New Yorker, you forget that other places were affected, other states were affected by it. And even towards the ending, when they're talking about like these what is it, civil partners and shit, and those people getting the benefits and how New Yorkers were able to get it. Like I feel as though for me, I look at it like in our shell and how we were affected and how the city was affected, but then seeing this affect people in DC, Virginia, fucking, and the rest of that 95 belt is what I call it, like I-95 stretch. It really opens your eyes to like how broad this shit like went. Like I know firefighters from Chicago who went to 9/11 to do cleanup. So it's like
Yeah.
to help. So it's like, god damn, like it sounds fucked up, but when the shit happened it didn't happen to me, but when it happened in New York, like I didn't think of it. Like I immediately thought it was like one of the 90, like what happened in 93, I think it was, with the truck, and then I just brushed it off. And then when I really grasp what happened, it's you don't think about it, you become insulated and you focus only on what is happening in your bubble, your city, your people. And to see what this movie showed is like, nah, B, this was bigger than this was bigger than Nino.
This was biggled. Yeah.
This was bigger than Nino Brown. You know what I'm saying? It was
I
a lot of
think
light-skinned men in suits making decisions.
I do find that a lot of New Yorkers have that problem where New York is in its own little bubble and the
Yeah.
rest of the world is the rest of the world. But this situation, I felt like it helped pop the bubble in a sense that you see that the whole world is affected by a situation. It doesn't really matter where it is on American soil, but if it's on American soil, it's more than just people in that town, that little township, or that city or that state that are affected. And it helps to bring people together. Unfortunately, tragedy does bring people together to, you know, rise up against. But I hate the fact that it had to have something like this to bring people together, because we were going through turbulent times with racism and stuff back then as well, and something like this happened, and it helped to bring us together to
Well,
fight a common cause and stuff. So
I
go ahead.
will say, like, it brought some people together. It ain't bring everybody together because
Yeah.
there are a few bodegas that did not reopen for a while. If you know what I'm talking about, I'm not. But like, it is what it is. That was a time, but it ain't bring everybody together. And I feel like, to your point, Mel, I didn't see the country unify or the world unify like this since the only other time I can think of is George Floyd.
I can't
Yeah.
Uh, George Floyd wasn't really unification either, though. You know what I'm saying?
Dude,
You
no,
had
you
people
got
back in the,
no.
you had Back to Blue, then you had people even within the Black Lives Matter shit talking about we not messing with the all Black Lives Matter stuff because they
Yeah.
talking trans, and it was just, that's when everything just went
But look at
agenda,
what
agenda, agenda,
George
agenda.
Floyd was global.
No,
It
no,
was
I get what you're
is
saying. I
okay.
get what you're
Yeah,
saying, but from that spawned a bunch of other bullshit. We
one
not
hundred
being
percent,
heard. You see what
100%.
I'm saying?
That's true.
But
That's
what I
true.
was gonna say during that time, uh damn, I just recently uh checked something out, and it was a guy of Middle Eastern descent who said that after that 9/11 event
Mm-hmm.
that he so-called lost his whiteness.
Really?
Expound on that for me.
Now, what he was saying is that prior to 9/11, a lot of people, who had the fair skin, Middle Eastern descent, Egyptian,
The
they
Persians.
were, yeah, they
Yeah.
were able to
Gotcha.
live here and succeed under white privilege, even though they
Mm-hmm,
were not of, white descent or so-called Caucasian descent.
mm-hmm.
And once that 9/11 event happened, their status so-called changed. And it was the first time that they had to realize that they were operating with white privilege and that it had been taken away from them.
Borrowed white privilege at that.
Yeah, borrowed white
Yeah,
privilege, or if
and
you
it's
want to
gonna
say
be the
that. Same
and
for the Asians and
I was
everything
just
that
about
was,
to say them.
yeah,
Yeah,
that went through
true.
the pandemic. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's my thing is I feel like America grants. I don't want to get racial, but I feel like America grants white privileges to brown and non-white ethnicities until
These are called buffer classes.
buffer. Yes, okay, I fuck with that term. Buffer classes until they decide not to, and a lot of those people, it's a fucking shock when it's not. You know what I'm saying? Because on a separate issue, I had a friend who was Guyanese, and if you look at a lot of Guyanese people, when they're Indian descent, so when their hair start growing and they rock the beard and shit, you can't really tell. Like
Differentiate, right? Yeah.
it's hard to differentiate if you're not from that ilk. And I have Guyanese friends that got. I went to college with one that got hemmed up after following 9/11, and he was just like, "Dude, I'm Caribbean." And just like how I realized when I moved to Chicago that there is not everybody's gonna differentiate Jamaican, Black American, whatever. You just a nigga.
Yeah.
He had that same realization, and I'm telling you, man, like as someone that experiences that shit, it it fucks with you mentally. But that's the outside. Let's talk about the angle because I thought the spin of um applying a worth or giving a value to help people get through this tragedy, that's a hard job in itself. And to tell the story of how they like came up with the formula and what that was like, I respect it. I'm not even gonna lie. Like I fucks with it. When I used to do
Yeah, I thought it was
foreclosures,
practical. Yeah, I thought it was
yeah,
practical. Like
you have to
like
do that.
like they were breaking that scene down. It was like it was janitors and CEOs in that building. They're not all
Right.
going to accept the same money. Then in the crowd, they were like, the dude was like, "My daughter's life is worth anybody else's life in there."
Yeah,
And
my
yeah,
son was a
and the guy was like,
firefighter.
"Yeah,
Yes.
yeah." And
I mean,
my guy was like, "Yeah, these people are all worth the same as people, but their mortgages is not.
Mm-hmm.
We're not
Mm-hmm.
mhm.
going to ignore that, are we? Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know where you stay.
And the backlash you receive from that
Yeah.
is genuine.
Yeah,
The
you know
backlash is
you over
received
there."
is genuine, but like I'm not fucking mad at it because you have to look at people like numbers. It's fucked up. But when you're dealing with like in a very minor scale, when I used to do foreclosures, I looked at everybody as a 9-digit fucking file number. That's all you were. And
It's kind
one
of how
time,
the
one
state
time
looks
I
at
had a guy get
it.
because the company I worked for, they would make it a point that like if you're in foreclosure sales, you never talk to a debtor, never. And when the one time I accidentally got one pushed through to me and I had to transfer him to loss mitigation, before I even transferred him, he's going through his story. That shit fucks with me till this day of like what he's going through. Like he had cancer, lost his job, been in the hospital, come back, and he got a foreclosure notice. Everybody has a story. And in those kind of situations, you're then going to have to either you have to look at it in a practical situation with just numbers, or you're then going to have to play the struggle Olympics.
Yeah.
And that ain't a fun game, which is what you see him doing towards the end, which I like his vindication. It wasn't pompous or like grandstanding in how he did it, but yeah. I feel like I'm talking a lot, so I'll let
I don't
somebody
know.
else.
My only shortcoming with the film was when he was talking about he gonna work for free. I mean, ain't no way in the world.
Yeah.
Well, you saw that play, right? You saw that play, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I would work for free for that too. You wouldn't?
You would work for free?
When I saw the play that he was trying to do, hell
What
yeah.
was the play he was trying to do?
He was trying to get into the White House. He was trying to get
Supreme
back
Court.
in, go into the Supreme Court, getting good with the president, get into the White House. And if you take the hit, like when Bush calls him on the phone and he said, I wouldn't wish this job on my worst enemy.
Mhm.
Yeah. Remember that, motherfucker. Now, granted, I don't know that it ever.
I was gonna say it.
came
I
to
think he
fruition.
was a little naive in his thinking, because everybody else knew that this task was gonna
Not
be a
gonna be the
fucking
same.
clusterfuck. Yeah, this
But
is gonna
see,
be a
that's when you don't have the know-how though.
Yeah.
You're gonna always prepare for the, you know what I'm saying, expect the worst out of situations when you don't have the know-how. He had already
He
been
thought
schooled in this area.
he
He thought, I mean, he had to calibrate. He had to
So that's what I'm
recalibrate
saying. Like,
and
I don't know if
realign
his,
some shit. But I think he was the right person for the job,
Oh
coming
yeah,
from where
yeah,
he came from in his background. And what I'm saying is, it's like you take your car into a mechanic, you like, damn, this shit finna tear my ass. And the mechanic like, nah, we just go get a few parts. This shit be about $600. And you thinking you finna be out of you know what I'm saying, $1,500 or something like that. So it's like when you have the know-how, you can kind of, work the gears a little bit better, and you don't approach it with the fear and that I guess other people would.
but to Mel's point, when you say naive, I say arrogant. Because I
Okay.
think
And
I
I
would
think
say,
I'm leaning more with
yeah,
you, Jay,
you're
like
leaning
arrogant.
towards
Yeah.
arrogant, because
arrogant.
I don't think I think he approached it from like, oh, it's money, throw money at the fucking
Yeah.
problem, and
Just
everybody's
yeah.
yeah. It was get paid and move on, get it done and move on, right? Like that was his thing. So it wasn't necessarily naive; it was arrogant, in my opinion. But I will agree, he was naive to think how easy people were going to
Yeah.
move on from this shit.
I was gonna say I think he was naive in their reaction, not so much
Exactly.
as his control. He was arrogant of his control of the situation, but he was very naive of their reaction of his control of the
Okay, I hear you.
situation.
And I think the scene in the town hall, man, like that whole thing was poignant, because when
That shit was, I'm not gonna lie, that shit was hilarious. Like he up there, he reminded me of you, Jay. When you get a
yep.
you be firing off some
This is
words.
the only game in town.
That was me. That was one. When he
But
said
then they
that
hit,
shit, I was like,
hey, but they was hitting him like we be hitting your ass like, oh, this shit a fucking game, motherfucker. No,
but
that ain't what I fucking
I
meant.
saw it. As I'm watching it, I was like, yeah, it is the only game. He's like, and when he's saying, put your thinking caps on. Sorry, I just spit all over my mic.
Like, oh, you calling us stupid?
Yeah.
Bruh, I was like,
So we the dumbest.
I saw that whole shit. Low key, when I was in college, we had a mock. I'll just make this real quick, but basically, it was a mock town hall meeting, but this time it was about overseas labor, and you had to take a point of for it or against it, and the point against it is so fucking easy, right? But the point for it was like, I don't remember what it was, But homie like stood in the fire, and I respected him for it. And one of the lines he said was like, "Look, they can either take this 5 cents a day or go back to their village and die with the rest of them." Now, I thought that was aggressive, but I equate that to this is the only game in town. What are you guys gonna do? And it was like, niggas that think that way is like, yo, it never really works out for you.
Yeah.
Because when they came at him, I remember this Haitian girl with tears in her eyes walking to him slowly, and I was like, oh, she about to put a spell on your ass. Like, you about to shit sideways for a week. Like, it's not going. Yeah, that's when they put a doo-doo in your in front of your door.
No.
No,
No.
All right, maybe never. Maybe it's just me. Maybe. All right. But yeah, no, I thought that town hall scene was fucking perfect.
Yeah,
and I'm glad it did not humble him in that moment. Because because I think the exact same way he thought.
Oh yeah, I could tell. I could tell. But no, I didn't.
When I say fucked up shit about myself, can you not agree so quickly?
Oh yeah, no, that's true. No.
It's not a fucked up way of thinking. It's just a logical way of thinking.
Yeah.
You're practical. You're not dealing with emotion. You're not
It's
dealing with
inhumane.
the situation as number file. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
exactly. You have to.
He tried to remain as far away from it as possible. You could tell that from the start, and I kind of like how they put that in there subliminally.
Yeah, and I was saying
absolutely.
I don't.
That's a very good point.
Much. Yeah, I didn't see too much shortcomings with it. I thought they did a pretty good job at capturing that moment, capturing the emotions from that moment, and portraying it pretty well.
Yeah, the way they brought what was her name, the Priya girl in when he was like, and she was supposed to be on that, North Tower or whatever, the 98th floor. I was like, man, bro, and it took me out from where I was at that time and put me more so in a New Yorker's feet. During that time. And it was like, yo, it could have been any given moment y'all was down there or on the train underneath or anything, man. It could have. I had a cousin going to NYU. He said he went into class and came out and the buildings was gone and class was done. And he's like, he didn't know what the hell was going on.
That's crazy.
That's exactly what it was with me. I was in Intro to Law. The first tower got hit. I was in 15 minutes into English. The next tower got hit. And the fucked up thing is, I'm driving. Like, think about what you were doing when she talks up. There's a scene, right, where they talk to one of the victims' relatives. And that was another part in the writing that I thought was oh my fucking God, that was beautiful. Incorporating these real stories. Or these stories from victims, right? And
voicemails.
Exactly. When the woman said she was talking to her boyfriend or her husband, and he was like, he made a joke like, I think I know I have to get out of the building, and he was laughing. When I was in English, this was the teacher that me and my boys terrorized, bro. I'm talking, we would throw paper at this bitch and then take the fucking, so every classroom had like a phone.
This is college?
Security. No, this is high school.
Oh.
I was in high school. We would take the
freshman year or senior year.
This is like junior year, bro.
You had intro to law in high school?
Huh? What?
You had intro to law in high school.
Oh yeah, because we had my high school, when you after your sophomore year, you can elect a specialty. So you can go legal, where you take intro to law and you take forensic science at John Jay, and you take a first 1L class there. So like you had to take like a tort class one semester or whatever, and now you're focused on that. So I went into law advocacy. So part of my thing was, real quick, like we wrote clemency letters. Like we bombarded the governor to get clemency for Linda White. One of the first mentally ill person to be on death row in Texas. We were part of his advocacy team, and we would write letters just every fucking semester trying to get him.
Did he get
me and Lamel went to the same high school. It's like I low-key feel cheated in my education, but at the same time, I don't.
But this is, again, you have to understand, none of this was provided by the school.
Hey, Like, God damn, man, y'all mother. This why you so tight, man. This why you be so tight all the goddamn time,
But
man.
you have to
But we got
understand,
known at the
none of
same
this was.
time. Like I got good common
This
sense. I
wasn't
might have to say
because
shit.
this wasn't because of the school though. Like teachers would go out and find these resources and then
Mhm.
beg the principals to let this happen. Like it wasn't. I don't give credit to the school. I give credit to my teachers. These are their connects. Like my intro to law, my teacher paid for the books out of her pocket and gave us photocopies. We
That's
didn't have that shit. You see what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
But
long
one
story less
thing.
long.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just saying, like, in that class, me and my boys are tormenting the teacher, and then we hear this happen. So that shit snaps you right back to fucking reality. Like, it's grow up time.
I wanted to point out like one thing I did find like a shortcoming in is I know at that time people like Priya Kundi, who was the lady that came in, I think they didn't highlight the type of racism she would have received at that moment. Like there would
But
have been people
she's
kind of looking at her sideways. No, it didn't matter. Like even if you had that color skin, they didn't take the time to look
Exactly.
at where you
That's what
came
I'm
from.
saying.
They were just saying like, "Oh no, she one of
she's
them.
no. I mean,
She one of them."
What
Why?
about that, Lamel? What about the look she shared with the other Indian lady in that meeting when they met with like the lower class,
I thought that was a
lower
Spanish
income
lady.
people?
I thought they were Spanish.
I thought she was Indian.
I thought that lady was Spanish because they had the Spanish speaking
yeah, I thought it was
translator
Spanish
there.
too. Yeah.
Oh, I thought that. Okay, then
But
I agree.
I didn't
I
think
agree with you.
she was going it was going I didn't think the movie would show any hate towards Priya's character because she was in the room with lawyers. She was in the room with people who
No, but
Yeah, but
kind of
he's
that
saying
had
like,
a
but when she's walking through New
yeah,
York,
like
like, when
because
she's walking
then,
through New
but
York,
then
like
when
she
people
looks like
found
one of
out
these.
too about she was supposed to be there, but she wasn't.
Yes,
Motherfuckers didn't look at her sideways. Like, well, why the fuck? Like, how'd you know not to go? Like, what the and that didn't cross nobody's mind at that time, especially at the time when they were being extremely highly racist towards anybody of descent.
I think that was
yeah.
just Fox News at the time, bro. That wasn't everybody.
No, it wasn't.
No, dude.
No, it wasn't.
G,
G.
I'm
No,
telling
it
you,
was not.
I am telling you, I am fucking like I've never.
I mean,
I
they fucked a couple of them PKs up in Chicago. I remember that shit. I remember that they was tearing up some of them spots, but I
But they was
mean,
like anybody that looked like him was
we
getting.
talking about but we talking about a certain mind. We talking about a certain
Yeah, yeah.
soundness, bro.
And
We talking about a certain level of intelligence, bro. People who have an intelligent mind, bro. You're not just finna jump on every Arab that you see or every Middle Eastern person
But
that you see.
how many people like you're speaking from the mindset of us as black people growing up dealing with that shit? How many people of Caucasian descent don't even think like us or think like that or look at people as people?
Yeah, and I'm saying that there are some that have a good sound mind, and there's some that are, you
There's
know,
some, but they're few and far
that eat the
between
Burger King
with the
Impossible
good old
Whopper, man.
boys. Yeah, I was gonna say there are few and far between with the good old boys was outnumbering us back then.
I
Oh
ain't gonna
yeah.
I'm
disagree
laughing
with you,
at
bro. I ain't gonna
I'm
disagree
like
with you, bro.
Yeah,
I'm
we
just
got the
saying.
numbers now. We got the numbers now, boy. Y'all didn't
yeah.
push too many of us. We didn't Voltroned up, goddamn it. We
We
didn't.
watched another movie when dude was trying to like. I think he was more like in high school, and the situation happened with 9/11, and he had to figure himself out, and he was learning all this other stuff through that time, whatever. I can't remember the name of this one, but
High
no,
school.
I'm just saying everybody didn't necessarily get beat up about that shit, bro. That's all I'm trying to say.
No, I hear you, but I
Yo,
think
no, I'm not saying just beat up, but
beat
I don't
up.
think
But yeah,
she
yeah,
she didn't get a bump in the road at all. She had smooth sailing through that whole situation.
I
That's what I'm
think
saying.
women, I think women wouldn't have had it as hard as men anyway, though.
yeah. Nigga,
I
you
think
think
They
that
they
was,
give
did.
a fuck?
They did.
I think that was directed more towards men.
No,
Nigga, no,
no,
I
it
am
was not.
they
No, it
had
was
like I
not.
remember like I vividly remember like watching the news where they was like please do not take out any hate towards anybody or any group because we don't know who did this. Like that was one of the first news reports I remember happening.
As
And
they
I
were
remember
getting the families out the country.
as they were getting the families out. Some of them were dipping.
Yeah, man.
But
I didn't blame them. And that's the only shortcoming that I see, that they didn't highlight that. They didn't highlight the hate that, was portrayed towards them. Even if they were innocent, even if they,
I don't know. Again, I just don't think it was directed towards women, because anytime I made a joke at somebody, you know what I'm saying, I was like, man, take that flight manual out your book bag. I was talking to motherfuckers.
See now.
It was a dude.
No,
but
Mike,
that's you.
Mike. That is
I do remember that shit though.
Yeah, motherfucker. He was going at dudes. You really wasn't going at girls.
But that's us. That's what I keep saying.
That's because you have sense. That Irish motherfucker that stood up.
You talk about Billy Bob, Billy Joe, Jethro, Jenkins, all them motherfuckers. They didn't give
Diane, Rebecca.
Right,
exactly. That's where I'm at. I'm at Diane. I'm at Rebecca. I'm at Paulie. I'm at fucking Vito. Like them Staten Island like firefighters and policemen. Trust me, they make Death Row look like he was an intern for Martin Luther King, bro. Like, no, it was different. No, just
just leave it with that.
No.
I stand wrong.
But
Mel
man,
got this one.
I said there's one. I said I got one. Goddamn it, we go. Nah, man. Let's switch gears, man. Like, let's talk about who we thought shined, and I don't really see a queen in this either.
Queen in this. There's just a bunch of kings in this. I'm not gonna go to the obvious and give it. I gotta give it to him,
man. I gotta give it to Michael Keaton, man, bro.
You gotta give it to you gotta do a 1A 1B, because that Stanley Tucci.
Exactly.
That balance beam that they played was real good.
I think
I would like them together.
No, they balanced so well in every damn scene. Like it looked like fucking you was watching Venus and Serena just volleying back and forth. Like you like, oh shit, who finna get it? Who finna get it? Because man, they would dog.
But you saw that working? Those two actors working? You saw that? Like,
I didn't see it.
That balance beam, bro.
Yeah.
I didn't see it until I saw it. Like I was like,
that's what I'm saying.
Damn.
Someone told me,
like,
I can't.
Well, I think Stanley Tucci is kind of like in that Tone Bell lane, where he's always kind of like he fits in on all type of movies, and he always does a good job. He's a polished actor. He got good range. And I felt he wouldn't take away from Keaton, but he would, like I said, he would mesh in well with him, and I thought he did it. I thought they both did phenomenal.
Keaton is is an extra actor. Like he's like what was the he
embodied this guy. Like I went back and looked at the video, looked at like maneuver, like just everything. I was like, God, like this motherfucker did it.
God, what was the guy from the original Batman that we all like? Dark Knight
Michael
Rises?
Keaton. I'm Batman.
Yeah, no. What's his name?
No, his name is Michael Keaton. That the original Batman. No, fuck that. Fuck that motherfucker. The original Batman is Michael goddamn Keaton.
Say it again.
You trying to look him up? No,
I am, because I want to give him his props, man.
No, he is not.
Bale. He's as meticulous to me as Christian Bale.
Michael Keaton was Batman before Christian Bale.
I know. So, or flip that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's where I see that meticulousness. Like, he takes everything from the mannerisms, the way that because his face is a very specific face. His face is built for the Batman mask. And so
which one?
Michael Keaton. His face is built for the Batman mask. So for you to not see.
What about the Birdman?
And that too. It wasn't too far off.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Wow. Like, if you.
What about the multiplicity? What about goddamn Beetlejuice? Like, this motherfucker is a guy.
He is.
Yo.
You see
Michael
what
Keaton, that nigga.
That nigga.
You know what I'm saying?
That I don't know.
Dude.
But I want to give props to Amy Ryan, which was I think she was like the second in command, like under,
Yes.
Okay.
No,
and
you're exactly right, Jay. You're
because
going in the right spot.
and that's why I said I didn't want to go the obvious, because you guys are absolutely right. I'm not arguing against Michael Keaton, but the way that she was able to be that barrier and then kind of force him to fucking have a soul, right? Like, and take on that burden of listening to these people's stories and then
Yeah,
being
you
a
right. You right,
therapist.
Jay. Because Michael Keaton was going down that founder lane. He was like, "Yeah,
Exactly,
I'm
exactly. And
I'm
she
finna
was
get over on all of this."
Mhm.
and she was the one, like, honestly, like, she's a saving grace to me. And so,
Nah,
because
she
here's
did.
the thing,
She did her thing. She did
and
her
her
thing.
performance as far as like taking that shit home when she's sitting in that conference room by herself, bro, that spoke to me, man. Like, because I feel like you can't work a job like this without taking a little bit of it home.
Man, I mean, it is because it's transfer of trauma. A lot of people
Absolutely.
don't realize like you transferring emotional trauma, and I thought they like every character did a beautiful job, especially uh Carolyn McNeely. Am I saying
Mhm.
her name right? I thought she did a
Close
great
enough.
job at capturing and becoming Nancy Pelosi, because I that's all I saw every time she entered the scene was Nancy Pelosi. I was like, is that Nancy Pelosi's like standing up there? Like, I was like, oh shit, okay, I see what you did there. But her real character was Gloria Thomas, but she looked just like Nancy
Nancy
Pelosi.
Pelosi.
Yeah, she looked just like her, bro. I was like, wait a minute, okay,
Um,
Nancy out here getting these extra checks. Okay, I see you.
so what about the black lawyer? He's not even, I'm not seeing him on the immediate cast list, but
He's
Oh, yeah.
is it Atto or Ato?
Otto. I was
Atto
thinking Otto
Blackson Wood,
Blackson Wood,
Blankson Wood,
wait,
Blankson.
Blankson.
you guys were talking over each other, so none of that was
Yeah,
audible.
Atto Blankson Wood.
Yeah, that's what we
Yeah,
both.
him,
But he played Daryl Barnes.
I don't
I
think
thought he
he's.
might have got my queen, low key.
Yeah, I was just about to
Yeah.
say,
It
like,
was between him and Chris Tardillo, who played Frank Donato.
The brother.
yeah,
Yeah.
nah, the
It was-
brother. If you have you ever seen what was
Rescue Me. The
Rescue
brother seemed
Me?
like,
Yeah,
yeah. I'm
yeah,
gonna say he seemed like a character out of Rescue Me.
exactly. Like that, he fits that mold. B, I'm telling you,
Rescue
there's not much.
Me was good, but I don't think he fit in there. And
I
if he did,
There's not
he
much
was a
depth to
sub
them.
character. Yeah, he wasn't a
yeah.
he wasn't
No, he wasn't the main character, but
There was no
yeah.
depth to these people.
he definitely fit into what I would portray as an Italian firefighter.
Okay.
Hey
He portrayed
Zoe,
it
do
all
you
right.
have a take on the crown? I feel like we've just been talking around.
Yeah, I
He's like, I'm just letting y'all motherfuckers get that shit out.
I was like, my bad, bro.
I
I didn't mean to like overtake the conversation.
I got to crown Michael Keaton. For me, I wouldn't have enjoyed the movie the way I did without him.
Mhm.
The way his character was developed and written, and the way that he brought that to life, it was dope. Because it's like he was just a regular guy, in his own world. You can see he was into certain things like his music library and shit like that. And at the same token, he was an honest guy too. You know what I'm saying? Because as the movie went on, he was like, okay, I gotta look at this logical instead of
Right.
just coming across this shit
All
on
emotion.
something dirty, or
Yeah.
that
Right.
the way he portrayed that, it was super dope. Because outside of that, this isn't a typical movie I would watch. You know what I'm saying? It was
This
real
is right up my
slow.
alley.
It was hard for me to finish. I had to watch it like 2 or 3 times, but once I watched it the last time and I was glued in, I'm like, damn, Buddy really held my attention for this video or this movie, rather.
I'm not
No,
gonna
Let's
that's
lie.
a
actually
good
talk
point,
about.
Joe. That's a
Yeah.
good point, Joe, that you said that the practicalness of his character, and just he was an easygoing dude. And that one scene that really stuck out to me was when he was working them numbers,
Mm.
and he was putting what they would get paid
Yeah,
out with the formula
Yeah,
next to him, and I was like, yuck, the
crazy.
differences.
Yes. I honestly think that's what helped him. That if I mean it was long, it was at least another 40 minutes before you see his character change. But I think I still go back to that scene because
That
it's
was the
like
click.
that
Yeah,
was the click because these motherfuckers are fighting for more and
no,
like
that wasn't the
you
clip.
getting 14.5 million. That was I think that was like the turning on the switch, but the light ain't come on yet.
Yeah, I'm gonna say the electricity hit when that motherfucker went to that opera. And shout out to what was this? The opera song. It was Bang on Cans, The Lost Objects. The
Yeah.
one I lost my sock. I lost my mind. Then that motherfucker started like all of that trauma started hitting this motherfucker. Like, damn, like all of these damn cases, like these motherfuckers lost things that are important to them that help them function throughout days and life and all this other shit. Like that was the fucking shit. Like he was like, oh, that's when he came out, and then old boy was out there waiting on him.
Yeah.
Hit.
Speaking of that music, man, I know we don't have a flavor this episode, but the
It,
music
it,
was dope as fuck, bro.
it was necessary.
You gotta big up Nico for that. You gotta big up Nico for that. Go ahead, Zo. Talk your shit,
I
boy.
ain't even have him looked up, but shout
Night
out to bruh.
Nico Muley. He's the music
Nico
director,
Miller, okay.
man.
Yeah,
Nah,
the taste for the music, especially for the times and the setting, you know what I'm saying? It took me back to those years, you know what I'm saying? That '01, early 2000s
Yeah.
era, you know.
Has anyone here ever been to the opera?
yes,
Nah.
I have.
I
Yeah,
Yeah.
have. Yes,
That shit, like,
it's
I
different.
remember it hits different,
It's
bro,
different,
because
Mm.
bro.
when he remember how he was like in that scene, he's like, I don't understand music today where you have to struggle to understand what they're saying. I y'all like there's like the prompter up top reading you telling you what the song is saying or whatever. But to me, I don't even focus on that. I'm just like when I watch Don Giovanni, I've locked in on the singer. You know what I'm saying? On the
Mm.
performer. Like the emotion, I don't give a what the words say, but
Yeah, I don't know what the hell they said. That
I don't
shit
speak
hit me
Italian.
somehow.
But the way that she's like hitting these notes is making me feel a certain type of way. Like between that and the drama of the lighting in an opera, between
Mm.
that alone will make you create your own storyline almost. But
no,
um,
I actually been to the opera. I'm not a fan of musicals like y'all know, but I
yeah,
appreciate classical music more so than opera music, so to speak. So the instrumentation of opera music I
Mm.
appreciate more so than
absolutely,
that.
like an orchestra.
Yeah, I like that orchestra shit. That shit is hard to me.
Well,
Do you guys
like
think?
classical, classical music and stuff sends off certain vibration. They hit certain tones and stuff that helps
Yep.
with our mental and put us in certain mental states and everything. And they know that because I guess they did scientific studies where that affects babies' brain waves and stuff and the way they learn and interact.
Yeah, that's
Did
So
you
true with
guys
jazz
see?
too, though.
yeah, yep.
Jazz like that too.
Did you guys think there was any modern music that could have been inserted into this film that would have given the same emotion or even close to it?
No, I don't. I don't think. I don't think it would have did it as much justice as the picks that Nico did for it because going that classical route, you're going to not so much focus on words, but you're going to focus on emotion, and
Exactly.
And
that's
it's not even that too. Like you said, it inspires thought. It kind of immersed me more into the thinking of what was taking place in that situation and
hmm
that time period. And I think even if they would have used like older music, you know what I'm saying, went back into the like 60s and 70s, I
Yeah.
think that would have took away from the film as well.
hmm
So I thought that was the perfect choice, going the classical route as well as the music of that time period.
I
good
mean,
job.
it definitely made me think like about the music, like the modern music that were impactful and make you think stuff. But a lot of it is coming from a place of revolution or uprising or whatever. I think for this film and for
Did
this
you just
situation,
cough, nigga?
Yeah,
That was-
for this film, yeah, I mean, it's the asbestos is still. Oh my god, I apologize.
Mm-mm.
But for this film, I feel like you need to sit in that shit. It's like when Lamel says, "I'm emotionally constipated," and I need to just go meditate and sit on the toilet for a little bit. Like you need to just sit and feel your feelings. Like, oh god, I can't believe I said that.
No, you do, man. I'm gonna shoot you
No,
some
that's
bail
real.
on this one.
That's
I'm gonna
gospel, bro.
shoot you some bail on this one because I did
Yeah,
when I
that's
listened
gospel.
to it. When I watched this movie, I was by myself, number one, and I was sitting in my room with my surround sound and shit. So I had the motherfucker cranked.
Yep.
So when the music came on and shit, like it was emotionally triggering me because then they do the scenes where you're listening to these stories and just me knowing that these stories are real was like some of that trauma transferred to me. Like, damn, man, people really went through this shit, man. Like, this is crazy. And then I started thinking about what would have done? How would I have reacted and stuff? And I really was feeling some kind of way, but I ain't
Same.
cried.
No. What
I
you
cried.
said there, Lamel,
Mm-hmm.
how the trauma transferred to you,
Yeah.
I also appreciated in the acting. I know we skipped over that.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, how you could see it on the lawyers' faces in their
Yes.
characters, how they started to wear the tragedies that everybody else
Mhm.
had experienced by having to sit and talk with these
And
people,
talk
and
to
you
him. Yeah.
absorb this shit, bro. And it's like they say, all psychiatrists need a
Psychiatrists have
psychiatrist.
psychiatrists. Yeah.
Yeah, because you are taking in so much, you have to have a release for that, and you can see them wearing it and not being able to release it until towards the end of the movie when they felt they were
They found
doing,
this motherfucker sleep.
yeah, when
They
they
was like,
were
oh
when
shit.
they found when they well I was gonna say when they felt they were doing the most good for the most people.
Well, it wasn't until when they realized he joined the cause and you could see like shit starting to lighten up, like, oh shit, we finna get busy then. Like we really about to get busy. Like, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's
We in
fucking
the
go.
weeds, but that's where we
Right,
should be. Like
right.
that to me, and that scene where he was like, where he's in the restaurant meeting with the lawyer for the
Yeah.
major corporations and those people.
Why
He
he
was
messed with
like,
that pen like that though, man? That
yeah,
was
that
a
was
nice
fucked up.
pen. That was a nice ass pen. I know
That's
that
ain't
pen
cheap.
was expensive. I was
That's
like, why
what
you
I'm saying. That shit
throwing
wasn't
money away?
cheap.
You just throwing money away, bro.
But that to me is like that was the mirroring uh moment where he's looking at himself, like looking at who he was or who he is or a part of
Mhm.
and not
Or
being
who he
happy.
portrayed himself as, but
Not
yeah, he
yeah,
wasn't really that person, but that's who he thought he
that's
was portraying.
exactly. When we all have like, everybody has like a character and a code switch. But what do you do in that moment? Have you ever like been faced with one of your facades that you pretend like you put forth? And then like how do you react when you're faced to it and realize that you don't fuck with that?
Beat the shit out of him.
No, you're gonna beat your shit out of yourself.
Hmm.
All right, Mike, I'm gonna talk to you because this might be like I get it that like everybody is real, but in certain situations where, how can I put it? Like sometimes for me, if I'm in a situation non-racial, or if I'm in a situation, I feel like it's up to me to make everybody comfortable with it. But when I look back and I get an outer body experience of looking at what I do to make people comfortable with it, I
You see
hate.
bamboozled mask, like you
Yeah,
tap dancing.
yeah, and it kind of like Mantan type of shit, like dance for me, and it's like when I see that, I then like have these moments where I'm looking at
Wanna beat the
everybody
shit?
laughing and realizing like, and not knowing if they're laughing at me or with me. You see what I'm saying? And in that, I related so much to him in that moment, but I was on a different spectrum. But I related so much to him in that moment because facing one of your a facade and then realizing that you're not a fan of it and you've been portraying that shit for however long, and that can, I want to check on him. Like I want to know, is he okay? Says, that shit can fuck with you, B. Do we have
No,
anything?
I was
Do we
gonna
have
say
anything else for the
I think we
comic?
slipped into the look at me already.
I was just about to say
I think we
because
slipped in there.
that is necessary to discuss.
I was going well here. We'll
Look at me now.
just
Look at me now.
we're gonna make it
Oh.
official. Yeah. There we go. All right. It's official.
So the Donato brother, the little
Mhm.
brother that died, right?
Right.
I think that was really his picture. Because if you look at the wedding picture when they go inside the house,
Mm-hmm.
the actor playing his wife, they kind of, you could tell that was superimposed over his actual wife's face. Like it's still, but his picture looks real. You know what I'm saying? Like,
They could have. I think they might have done that just to
yeah,
pay homage to the because they.
Stanley.
I mean they did have. I think they had a few embellished stories, but they also had to add in some realistic stories just to pay homage to the people that actually went through this and everything. But I did notice on that wall that they had a lot of the missing. Uh, a lot of them were the same picture. They were just they would freak them in a
Wait,
different
Melody,
way.
you're breaking. You repeat everything you just said. You were breaking up.
No, I said on that wall, how they had the pictures and stuff of the missing people on the wall. A lot of
Mhm.
them were the same picture. They were just freaking it in different ways and stuff, and make it different. Like they add long hair on them right here, then they put an afro on somebody right here, and I was like, "What the hell?" And I thought it was crazy. And I looked it up, and yeah, that's exactly what they did. They had a couple stock photos that they did, and then they did like kept manipulating them for the. Because I was like, "What the hell is that?" No, I'm tweaking, but no,
They
I
had
I
love.
was
they had a created player walls. What you saying?
yeah, yeah. I was like, "All right." As long as I hate tweaking, I was like, "God damn, man, I'm tripping." Had me like, "So, god damn," like it was just. But that was one of the things I caught in my look at me. So
No, I fucks with that, and the insertion of like actual footage from the news reports and the reactions, like
mm,
that black lady, and y'all know who I'm talking about. That black
mhm.
lady that's coming out of the building. I've been seeing this bro since 2000 fucking one b, and she lives rent free in my brain. Like that's the crazy shit. Like
Yeah,
she forever lives rent free in my brain.
I forgot her name too. I'm sorry, but I know her story was
Oh,
running around.
I never looked her up. I
Yeah,
don't.
her story is running around there on the interwebs, somewhere up there in the interwebs, whatever.
Interwebs, the internets.
I
For
don't know how.
me, for me with the look at me, I thought this was filmed pretty dope. The symmetry, how they did a lot of the angles, all the way down to the set design, like the way his crib was, it
Mm.
brought me back to those
You're not
early
go.
2000 styles, and
You're definitely not letting go of that CD collection, are you? Though.
yeah, I was going back to that. That shit cold, bro. Like I want some shit like that in my crib, dog.
Bro,
Those
all
were
I kept
records.
thinking,
Those were records.
all I kept thinking is, imagine how much of a pain in the ass it is now that he had to transfer that shit onto a drive. Like, imagine the pain in the
That shit
ass. Like,
sucks. That
just
shit sucks.
it.
'Cause I
Yeah,
had to
you
go
know
through it. I had a
exactly.
big ass CD collection.
Oh,
Goddamn
we
it!
know, we know.
Like,
God damn.
And then
Oh,
and he had that 60.
I've gone through that and had a computer crash and had to do it again.
Yep, that's all.
I still got my CDs just in case some shit fuck off.
Ditto,
damn.
You know what I'm saying?
ditto.
Let Spotify start charging too crazy. You can't get stuff for free. Let me not be able to stream some shit, bro. I'm going back.
You ain't shutting my streamers down, bro. You
Oh,
ain't.
shit. But that's what I'm saying. So, like, I can't. I know you wouldn't let that shit go, but that shit looked like a fucking headache to me. And then to dust it,
What if you forgot
but
which
for
which
me,
track?
it would be different. Like I would have it, you know what I'm saying, just for the essence, for the ambiance,
Mm.
thinking about
okay.
today, like just to create in or just like as a museum damn near, you know what I'm saying, in my house of just shit that I
Give
appreciate.
give me 5 records that you would want on vinyl right now.
God damn.
I got a
There,
couple right now
there
on
you go
vinyl. I
again.
got Snoop Dogg Doggy Style on vinyl. I
Nice.
got I got Baduism. I got Miseducation, Lauren Hill on vinyl.
That's one.
Okay,
Uh,
I think I know somebody that had that on vinyl.
Uh,
I gotta get
I'm
that.
saying like
that's tough.
we're so digitized, and the world was already moving towards that in 2001, 2002. So I'm already looking at like in the additional stress of building this house, dealing with this case. You now have to transfer all your shit onto a fucking flash drive or a hard drive or some shit. Like in 2 years, like that's a headache, B.
You do know the music sounds better on those records, right?
yes, it
Yeah,
does.
yeah.
I still
I
pop a
don't,
CD in every now and again, G.
do you really?
Yeah, I still do.
Oh,
I
shit.
got a few that I kept that I was like, I'd never get rid of.
I still got
So,
a ton of CDs around here, bro.
The only thing I probably would want on vinyl, if I had to think, is Many Moods of Moses. And that's the Beanie Man album. That's had Sim Simma. That shit was Grammy nominated.
Okay,
Like
okay.
that fucking album would, when I hear songs from that shit takes me right back home. So that shit I would want on vinyl, and I would want Purple Tape and fucking Pusha T's joint, Daytona. Outside of that, I don't really see a lot of shit because the raspy popping noise that's
No,
artificial.
I would get Most Def first joint
Okay,
on vinyl. I'm looking for that with that my Umi says shine your light. That was a cold album to me.
okay.
That was a slapper.
the world to
And Mr.
see.
Nigga was on there and all of
Yeah,
that
there
shit.
was another one that hit.
Yeah,
Shit, I'll take a Black Star album, honestly.
yeah.
Mm.
It's a lot. It's a lot of albums I go get. I go get a Roots joint on vinyl.
All right.
I'll be
All right.
searching,
Okay,
man. I'll be searching. I'll be
all right.
searching.
Y'all got me.
Tribe Called
You got
Quest.
me. You got me. You got me.
You
Because now I'm thinking like Alfredo on vinyl might sound good. Because Alchemist beats
Man, that would be crazy.
Alfredo on vinyl.
You staying recent. That's hard. Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm
hard.
not even going that far back. I'm just this, what I feel like now is we're going into a whole music segment. So let's
Yeah,
not
we are.
try. But like, all right, y'all got me. That was a cool collection, and hopefully he kept it.
Man,
Maybe don't transfer it.
nah, that shit
But-
coming back. So he just sitting there and waited. He waited. This shit coming back with
I'm gonna
Bill
wait y'all out.
Nah, but even that scene, like how it brought him back into his place of peace. You know what I'm saying? It was a sanctuary, sanctuary or sanctuary.
Sanctuary.
There we go.
You
Sanctuary.
had me fucking it up. It's sanctuary.
My bad, Zoe. I feel like I cut you off. I didn't mean to do that.
Yeah, he did.
Nah, you good. I ain't really had nothing else.
He said I was finna take a nap in the middle of this shit anyway. No, man.
I just want to shoot.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, man.
No, I was just saying I like how they just, they highlighted the trauma back then and like the just people trying to deal with it and find ways of compensating for it is a traumatic thing in itself, and it was just when a tragedy like that happens,
That
like
was like for me, that was key. My bad.
no, you good.
Because I was in 8th grade when the shit happened. So, that was really my first time experiencing something of that magnitude, ever seeing it or, just paying attention to it. So, for me to hear of 9/11 before watching this film in, my adult years, it's shit and feelings I forgot about that I saw that, it brought me back to like, damn, this was really fucked up. And it kind of, reminds me of my children going through COVID, you know what I'm saying? Like, the same traumas or, things that may have been going through their brain about all of this and how it changed their lives. I could only imagine what was going on in New York. You know what I'm saying? It was crazy for me.
See, I didn't go there, but let me ask you all this. When they are showing the backdoor dealing, I don't want to call them backdoor dealings, but the politics behind this shit and the science behind it, where they're like, you have the DOJ support, whatever you want to do, but give them what they're asking for. Like that kind of shit, like the wink wink shit. That immediately make you look back at how these stimulus checks were being dispersed, or what's going to happen post with the how they're handling COVID, and what the world looked like, and what rules and deals they're working on now that
It
could fuck us
it
over in
never
the future.
it never shocks me because I don't trust our politicians. Like I've never have, never will, because I know they do dirty, grimy shit. Like nobody in politics has their hands clean. Just like no. So when I see shit like that, it's just yeah, I expect them to act like this is how I expect them to act and move. When they actually
I
act
didn't
like
see it.
human beings and that they care is when they shock me.
I didn't. I honestly, okay, that's my naiveness because I didn't feel like the way Bush came out and was like, "We're gonna go get him." I felt like that was one of the few times I can remember being fully, I'm a government man. I'm big government because my government got my back. And then
I knew
to
I
see,
knew the fuckery was right around the corner.
oh, you saw
Yeah,
it? I didn't see the
he
play.
didn't say
I
it,
missed the
said
play.
to Negroes a lot. Like we gonna go get them, and then he said that to Mexicans. We gonna go get them. So now it's just a matter. Yeah.
Oh my god!
They've been saying this shit a lot. So when that shit
I
happened,
didn't.
it's just kind of like, all right, yeah, nigga, they getting somebody else now.
I didn't see. I didn't see the play. I didn't. I thought when it happened, I just figured like the government was going to come through and take care of everybody. It was never a question as to were they going to take care of like people who had health conditions following it. Like I was like, yeah, of course. Motherfuckers risk their lives. Don't you take? But then now that I look back at it, they don't even take care of war vets. What the fuck was I thinking?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
No,
Um.
but I just wanted to shoot some love to the writer on this, Max Borenstein.
Oh yeah.
I think this
Shout
is
out.
the first thing he actually has written. Everything else, well, no, he did the Minority Report for TV, and he did the screenplay for a lot of the Godzilla films.
mm,
Uh, but this is the first thing I guess it was written by him, and I thought he did a
That's what's
phenomenal
up.
job, as we all highlighted. Grabbing everybody back into that time period, even though we had just went through such a significant, you know, event for the world, such as the
Mhm.
COVID shit. And he was able to kind of pull us out of that and place us back in 2001 and have us relive those moments with the even a different take on it, not even coming from the angle of, I'm the hero, I went into the burning building, but just having to take care of that situation and how did it go about getting done. I thought that shit was all the way cold.
I agree. I mean, I think Michael Keaton's character was originally a villain, and by the end of it, you were in love with him. You know what I'm saying? Pause. Um, so that
I
that
never, I
that kind
never
of
saw him
transition.
as a villain though.
Yeah, I never hated his character in the
Yeah, I never
movie.
saw him as a
From what
villain.
I saw, yeah, from what I
For
watched, I
what he
never
had to
hated his
do, I
character.
could see him being villainized for it. As far like how the people were receiving him, he was. I took it as.
If 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 they portrayed it where we didn't see his intentions going in, then yeah, I probably would have
Yeah,
viewed him
yeah,
as
yeah.
a villain and
Yeah, if
everything.
we were
But
watching it from a person sitting in the crowd's perspective,
Exactly.
getting
Yeah.
that information, yeah, you probably would view him as the bad guy. Yeah, you're definitely right. If we were Stanley Tucci in the movie, if we watching
oh
it
yeah,
from his angle,
Exactly.
yeah,
Exactly.
we probably would see him
Exactly.
as the villain. Yeah.
All right. I don't know if it's possible, but I'd love to see if we could try and have some fun with this.
oh my gosh.
We're gonna give it a shot. No, all respect.
It is everyone's
All
favorite game show. Rename that movie. What's your number?
I saw that coming.
Deal or no deal.
Oh,
Trump
oh,
Towers. Oh, come on, that slapped. Don't do that. That shit was
Mm-mm.
fire.
That ain't gonna be deal or no deal though.
Okay, all right. So we got Deal or No Deal in the lead so far. We got what about Your Life Got a Price Too?
oh.
Price tag.
Price tag, toe tag.
Your
Price
mortgage,
tower.
your life is worth. Damn, I'm fucking this up. Never mind.
When it all falls down.
Fucks with that.
I likes it.
I likes that. Yes, when it all falls down is in the. I like the head nod even more.
Paper planes.
Ooh.
Oh, that's deep.
Oh shit!
Bruh.
This is America.
This is America.
This is America.
This is America.
Hey yo!
When the smoke clears.
What's my cut?
Damn.
Dollar bills, y'all.
Nah, Paper Planes is still in the lead. B. Mel, you gonna let him take you out like that?
Yeah, man. That shit. I ain't gonna lie. That shit. I thought I had it with that all falls down, bro. I was
Dude,
like, yeah.
how you gonna let him take you out like that? Zoe got that look in his eye. Zoe got that look. Come on, man. We gotta
That
jump
motherfucker.
Mike one of these days. Man. We
Mike
gotta all
had
come
hit me
together.
like when Pacquiao had it in the 12th round. He's like, hell yeah, I got this much clock.
Damn, I don't think we ever picked a name this quick.
Damn.
But
Yeah, we need to shit.
Yeah.
No.
He said when we need.
When we need to.
Shit.
That'll do it. So the official rename for Worth is going to be Paper Planes, ladies and gentlemen. Not mad at it. Love the name.
No, not mad at that one at all.
And the official score for Worth, I was about to say for Paper Planes, for Worth, now streaming on Netflix, is going to be a 4.
I got them new clippers.
Honestly, I look forward to seeing what line he gonna come with after the clip is out every time.
I fuck with this movie so heavy, but I don't recommend watching it too often. But if you ever feel like low or like woe is me, watch this movie. And I know that doesn't make a lot of sense, but it'll quickly snap you back to remembering like the world is big and the people are suffering every day. And like
and how fortunate you were to make it through this situation and your people to make it out of that situation who was in New York, bro, because we couldn't even get a hold of my cousin for a minute.
That's what I'm saying. Because like think about it. Like I know we're done talking about the movie, but like there's a scene where they're talking to like the immigrants and the non-English speaking motherfuckers, the low level employees, and they're saying we're gonna give you $200K. And my man looked like, is that to be split up? And he's like, nah, that's per decedent. And he's like, he was looking for a pen. He would have cut himself and signed
That's for you too, mommy. That's for you too, mommy. That's for you, son.
I was like, what the fuck? And then to see these fucks arguing when they're about to clear 14.5 million on one person, like,
yeah, man,
come on, B. Like,
not one person. That's his wife. That's his children. That's all
exactly per decedent. Yeah. So it's like, it made me kind of like, it humbles your trauma. I don't know if that's if you guys. I know that's a fucked up way to say it, but like, you get what I'm trying to say?
No, I get what you're trying to say, man. It makes you appreciate your values in your life over what other people value more. Like, as far as just trying to get money, get over on people. They don't care about who they got to step on to get where they got to get to, man. It makes you appreciate your values, your upbringing and everything. So, no, I get it. And I would definitely rewatch this, man. And I definitely tell some people to rewatch this because I know it's a.
I've already recommended it.
Yeah.
I was gonna say it's a lot of younger people that they don't really understand what happened. Like they lived through it, but they don't really understand the just the major shit that went down with this, man. And this movie highlights it pretty well.
Before we get out of here, Mel, to that point, do you think that like if younger people saw this, it would make, because I feel like a lot of times they're shocked by what the government is doing, and they're shocked at like how the decisions that they make. Do you think like this, seeing things like this during a tragedy of what 9/11 was, would make them understand like, oh, why older people are like, yeah, this ain't nothing new, or why you say this ain't nothing but water off a duck's ass a lot, like,
Yeah.
you
No,
know?
it could help. I don't think we can get through to these knuckleheads though. They pretty much made up their mind, and
It is what it is.
they
Is this a hard movie? Do you think this is a hard movie to sit your children down in front of?
it's a hard movie. No, not my children. My
No.
children, I think they would. I don't think they'll grasp it. I think I'd have to do a lot of explaining and really
They weren't here when that happened. I
right,
get you.
Yeah,
right,
but like I want them watching this as soon as they can.
yeah.
First time I feel like emotionally they're able to absorb it. I would want my kids watching something like this.
Yeah, no, this is definitely something I would watch with them, and I would not mind stopping and explaining to them.
Absolutely.
Like this is like, no, this some shit.
Fuck kids. There's certain adults that I'd like to like have sit down and watch this. Like your little peon problems ain't that big, motherfucker.
Some
Like
adults I like to slap the shit out of too. Anyway, I'm sorry. Speaking of slap the shit out of, man, y'all can go to TruVuePodcast.com. Y'all slap the shit out of that like, subscribe, and share button, and comment to help us defeat that all powerful algorithm. They trying to hold a black pod down, man. We trying to get the message out to the people. You know what I'm saying, man? TruVue Podcast, baby. We doing our damn thing. We doing our thing so much that y'all should go to patreon.com/TruVue Podcast to help us to just donate to us. And you know, just for doing that, y'all do something for us, we gonna do something for y'all. We gonna get y'all 4 bonus episodes of us talking that unfiltered, unedited, unadulterated, just ignorance at its goddamn finest, like we do, for just the low price of $5, man. $5 is a nickel bag, man. You can go get a goddamn foot long, $5 foot long. I don't even know if they steal $5, but it's just $5.
Not at all.
They not. They $5.99.
Boys back up.
God damn, man. See, we cheaper. We gonna get
Yesterday's price is not today's price, Lamette.
My goodness, man. I'm sorry. I just remember the song back in the day. You know, I stopped eating Subway. But anyway, it's probably because I didn't have $5. So if y'all can donate $5, fuck, I can go get me a goddamn foot long or some shit.
I used to
Anyway.
hate this motherfucker eat Subway, bro. Like he would get so much fucking veggies. He would OD on the shit. And then, like, one bite is falling all over the place. It's a goddamn mess. Sticky teriyaki sauce all over my fucking ottoman and shit.
Hey, man. Hey. That's Patreon
Only
talk.
way, Jay. It's the only way.
It's Patreon talk, guys. And we can't share that with the general population. That's only for our loyal fans that go to the Patreon and like, subscribe, and share. You know what I'm saying? $5 a month.
Yes, sir. How them venti vibes doing?
Man, the vibes are always Venti, man. You can check out Venti Vibes for all of your DIY ideas. You can find Venti Vibes on Instagram and Facebook, VINTY, VIBEZ. Tap in, get at us. We got something for you.
There it is. There it go. And that's the show.
Yes, sir. You know what we say? Go
What did he
watch
watch?
some shit. Yeah.
TruVue Podcast.
A bunch of different views.
The boys keep it real, man. I really like listening to them, man. They funny. Yeah.
Son.
You know what I'm saying?
They really speak their truth. What the hell was that?
You're